This is Logical MGTOW Spock, and today's topic is going to be possibly a mixture of a number of things. But I've noticed, let's see, what was it like last night? I noticed a woman on a video that a MGTOW brother made and talked about, is that she has no idea of what the hell she was talking about. She claimed that feminism was good for the women at one point. Yeah, the only time the feminism was good for the women was in the 1970s during the ERA. That didn't have any blockades and conflicts against the male. It just had blockades and conflicts with the government. Um, in the sense of where women would be able to have not only equal rights but also um, be able to work in the working world and not depend upon mommy and daddy all the time, especially when it comes to basic income and being able to buy things and even afford things for themselves. But what many women don't realize is that the current feminism and the current Me Too movement, of course, is the Me Too movement uh, new to this generation especially, and revised, obviously. And of course, the feminist movement also keeps on revising itself as well. Um, they just like the liberal Democrats don't want stability. The liberal Democrats don't want anything positive and self-sustaining. The feminist movement and the feminist Me Too movement don't want things to be fair for both sides or equal for both sides either. They would just want things to be done their way and as if it's no pass go, do not collect $200 for the mail. It's as if they think that that's exactly how they were treated in this male-dominated society. Um, and logically, they were not treated that way, even though it may have seemed that way. But also, a woman cannot simply just have that belief just because she doesn't feel that she's being respected, considered, trusted, or even in a whole hindsight that things aren't going so well for me in my life. As if the woman expects that things to go better for them, but troublesome to a certain extent for the male. That's not how the reality ball bounces, you feminist little fucking Me Too bitches. The reality ball bounces this way. Things do get tougher every year, every century. We cannot expect things to go the way we want them to all the time. Because if we were able to do that, we'd be living in Disneyland, the fucking fairy tale of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and Peter Pan and all that shit. But that's not the way reality is, ladies. Reality is tough for us men as much as it is for you women. It may not seem that way because we are getting what you call the benefits. Yeah, because the reason being because we're working our asses off for it. So therefore, we deserve it. If you want to work your ass off for it, then do it to the point to where it doesn't strain you out, to where it doesn't wear you out. Because that's exactly what we're doing. Even though a number of the men are doing it to the point to where it wears, where it tires us out big time. But we can do it to what we men can do. We men can work and make a living and make an income where it doesn't tire us out, where it doesn't wear us out with before the day's end. But at the same time, we are all human. We learn things ever so gradually, don't we? So much so that that the general aspect of things is that sometimes we wake up to realize what I just said much later in our life, and sometimes a lot later than we expect to or want to. That's the way the reality ball bounces, ladies. We men don't realize it until much later ourselves. Hell, I didn't even notice it until I hit my late 20s to early 30s. Of course, I'm not in my 30s right now. You could say that I realized it when I was in my teens. I may have to a point. But even as the aspect of logic as well as education, okay, things do take time to surface to where we're able to be more than aware of things, more than knowledgeable and noticeable, and where things are more noticeable to help us better things for ourselves as well as those who are around us and who we would be able to help or assist in the most spiritual way and helpful way without expecting anything for ourselves even as we do it. See, that last part was the other spiritual part. We could easily help each other, help the our fellow man or woman out without expecting anything in return. Thereby, we get something in return nonetheless, not necessarily from the woman or the fellow male. Be that could easily be our friend as well. Who's to say, right? Or it could be an acquaintance in a way. But we do get something in from not expecting anything in return from the other human beings that we help, regardless of the gender. We get a heavenly blessing from our heavenly Father that comes within us, and we don't notice it. That's one thing. That's one thing. We do not notice it, but it does happen. The more we do it, the better, the more it comes, right? And with that, the better things can be along the way for each and every one of us, both male as well as female. But trying to do the male gender in ladies is not a beneficial thing for either for the female gender at all. and hoping that the COVID-19 pandemic to try to do us men in is not a very spiritual, positive thing either. Therefore, it makes you look bad by wishing the harmful and wrongdoings done to the male gender, because we don't wish that. But granted, I know many men have said, "Oh, if something drastic happened to her, she may wake up and realize this, and that, and the other, whatever." But the basic fact is, we may say it about the woman that we want negative things to happen to them, but deep within us, we're not like that. Most men say it out of frustration and anger. Yes, much like you women do. But you women have said it even when you're not angry, when you're not frustrated, when you're not disgusted or anything. You said it even when you're relaxed and at ease with yourself. You said it in the hate towards us men. Not actual hate, but you get what I'm saying. So it doesn't serve any positive purpose, spiritually as well as moral, in the moral sense and way, to wish harm towards us men just because just because things don't go your way, ladies, and just because you don't get what you think you are so-called entitled to. And I just said, and I've mentioned on a number of my videos, that entitlement is not in the picture. Spiritual entitlement is. Spiritual entitlement is always in the picture, not the mortal, emotional, psychological entitlements. You want entitlements? Stay single, ladies. You're not going to get the basic entitlements that you expect from us men. Because that's wishful thinking. Fairy tale land. The Disneyland fucking fast sketch cartoon of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Fucking Beauty and the fucking Beast and the fucking, various other Disney classics and such, like Cinderella and whatnot. And Aladdin. Those are fictional realities, fictional stories and realities. It doesn't coincide with actual reality, ladies. As much as you want it to, as much as you hope and pray that it does, it won't. It never will. It may seem like it if you were to, and I know many women, many MGTOW members have said this, that women want to go after the rich guy, but yet they even do the rich guy in anyway, don't you? Don't you, ladies? You cheat on the rich guy, and you do him wrong as well as you do the guy that works on a daily, monthly to daily paycheck. Don't you, ladies? You will deny it all you want, but you know damn well it's the damn truth. And it goes with the same that say, "Ooh, I can change him to be a better person, in my view." And then suddenly, when that happens, you leave him for a so-called better man. Logically, there is no real better man in any way. The person is the way they are, and the woman are the way they are, but we need to accept them. But the one thing is, women need to learn to accept us men for who and how we are, and with that, as our parents did and our grandparents did, they worked together. They didn't work against each other in to get what they wanted and what they felt they were again entitled to. and what they expected, even though along the way things will happen that we don't expect. That's another part of the reality ball bounces, ladies. You may think and say you know this, ladies, but obviously you don't. It's been shown since the late 80s, early 80s, 1990s, and the beginning to mid part of the millennium, all the way to this point. And so far, it looks like it may go even further than this point that you still don't get that, ladies. I knew that way before. I'm not Einstein. I'm not the one that knows all, but I'm being honest with you because I know what I say to be true and more than factual. And yet, at the same time, ladies, you expect us men to just give up on ourselves and give in to you. Do you realize, ladies, when that happens, we don't want to do anything for you as well as ourselves? So, for us to give up on ourselves and be subservient to you, ladies, we won't want to do that. We men won't want to do anything, even if you try to force us and try to build up our spirits. It's not going to be it, and even when women do that type of shit, it doesn't last long. Women are not all knowing. They're not the saving grace either. So, ladies, the end result is deal with what you are dealt metaphorically. We men, we men, even MGTOW men, are dealing with what we're dealt in life. Even though we don't want to a good percentage of the time, but we learn to deal with it and better handle it. Yes, along the way, as even as we handle things like that, then more things come our way that we don't want to deal with, but we eventually end up doing it anyway, don't we? You women need to learn to do the same shit, and you cannot expect us men to be the white knight, as it were, and the and the one that saves the day, as it were, as you see on many hero shows and movies, because that's not the way of reality. Yes, you might get some. We might get both males as well as females may get things that or people that are more than willing to help out to only to a certain extent, and a number of them expect something in return. And yeah, I know ladies will say, well, whenever that happens, they expect us to give give ourselves to them sexually. That's another part of it too. So that right there shows that you women need to learn to do things on your own. Don't expect the man to give you what you want. We don't expect women to give us what we want all the time like you women do. Yes, yes, both genders wants the sexual action of the sexual sensations and such like that. But the one thing is that that only lasts for only so long. Much like a migraine lasts for only so long. Much like a sinus headache lasts for only so long as we know how to treat it. Much like a day with sunlight, it lasts for only so long. Same thing with day or night with rain lasts for only so long. I can go on. So logic dictates this, ladies, as well as for the men. In order to have faith and understanding and belief in yourself, you must first trust in yourself. Have confidence and belief in yourself. And with that, things will gradually come your way. It won't happen like that. Because if you think it will happen like that, at the snap of a finger, that's not the way the reality ball bounces. There will be many things that will seem like they're going to be coming our way like that, even in our youth. Many things have felt like they were going to be like, oh, there it is, type of thing. But it never did turn out that way, now did it? So with that, we cannot expect it to be like that as we get older. Even our elderly have expected things to happen like that from time to time. When we get to the points of elderly, you know, we may feel like things should happen like this as well at one point in time in our life. But even as I said, from our youth to our adult as on the line and ages of our adult life, to the points of when we get to the points of retirement and senior citizen like, it will not happen like that. Things will not come to us like that. We are not Star Trek's Q, John Delancey's character from Star Trek The Next Generation. We are not the genie from Aladdin. We are not the all-knowing and all-powerful. None of us are. No gender is. None of the two genders are. And therefore, we cannot expect any of the two genders to be that way in order to be in a stable, long-lasting marriage and relationship. But there is one thing we need to learn to do, starting with you ladies. If you want a long-lasting, happy life, even in marriage, you cannot expect things to come your way and where you get your way like a little fucking 2-year-old. And I know you'll say, no, we're not that way. You men are that way. No, we're not. Yes, there are times where we would want things to be our way. Yes, but it's been more so with you ladies, expecting things to go your way when you want to and when you expect it to. Not so much with us men. So, ladies, deal with what you are dealt in the metaphorical hand of the metaphorical cards that you are dealt in each and every day of your life. Learn to better handle it. for yourself and within yourself, especially. Because you cannot expect us men to solve things for you all the time. You need to learn to solve things for yourself. We men have learned to solve things for ourselves, and we keep on learning more and more, day by day, year by year, week by week, month by month. You need to do the same thing. You cannot expect, where are all the good men type of shit to happen for you. You may wonder where all the good men are, but guess what? From all the negative shit that you women have done to us and done against us, you cannot blame us for being MGTOW. You cannot blame us for not wanting to deal with your illogical shit either. And your childlike expectations or phony ass expectations. We men are not your secondary father figure. We men are not your second bank account. We're not your secondary bank account. We're human beings. You must learn to treat us as such. And yes, we know how to treat you women like human beings, but you need to do that for us first off. Or you'll never get anything positive for yourself, even when it comes to us men. Ladies. That's the truth and reality and logic of how the reality ball bounces. Learn it. And by the way, ladies, men also know this too. The more you go against us in the sense of adultery, aka cheating, you're going against the Bible, which makes it go. And if the more you say, the more you wish hateful things to happen for us, and the more you even pay for things to happen to us, that's evil and sadistic. You sin in accordance to the Bible. So you want a happy life, ladies? So do we. That means do not go against the Bible in any way, shape, or form, and don't say you haven't, and don't say you have, and that you did or did not, and you know damn well you have. The more anyone goes against the Bible, they will sin without a doubt. And in addition, like I said before, ladies, you may think all the actions that you think you can get away with, even in today's society, you think you're without sin. You're not without sin. We men are not without sin. Get that straight. So whatever action and sinful action that you do, even against us men, even behind our backs, you will sin more and more. The more you do things even against us, the more you sin, ladies. The same thing for us men. That's another part of the reality ball bounces aspect of things. This is Logical MGTOW Spock. Men and MGTOW men, blue-pilled simps and manginas and white knights, stay strong, stay single, stay safe, stay self-confident, self-assured, have faith and belief and trust in yourself, and love within yourself as well. And again, please stay single. Stay MGTOW, MGTOW for life, brothers. And as always, live long and prosper.